Hollywood Live Extra with Tanya Hart.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hollywood Live. We always bring you the best in our podcast. And today we have a lady that we know you want to hear from. Her name is Lily Singh. Yes, you remember her from Breaking Barriers as the only woman of color to host a late night show on major network for 30 years, in 30 years, with a little late with Lily Singh. And now she's got a new movie out, and we're so excited for you. Hi, Lily. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Okay, let's talk about, you've had quite the career, lady, starting out in comedy, and then you've been a best-selling author. You're a gender equality advocate. You are an actress, an Emmy-winning entertainer. What haven't you done here? Now you're doing a movie. I love this movie idea. You're in this movie, Hitpig, with Jason Sudeikis.
I am. Thank you. Thanks for that recap. Really gave me the boost I needed this morning. Yes, I try to dabble in a lot of things. Life's about having fun.
Yeah, well, first of all, Jason has got to be the epitome of fun. Interestingly, this is an animated movie. We should let people know it does open up in theaters, now, basically, and it's a very interesting story. Tell me a little bit about the story. Jason plays a bounty hunting pig, and you play a dancing elephant, where big fun meets big trouble.
Naturally, as friends do. Yes, Hitpig is a bounty hunter who returns escaped animals back to the place they came from, and Pickles is one of those trapped animals. She lives in a cage in a Las Vegas show, eventually escapes and wants to go back home to her family in India. And so she forms an unlikely friendship with Hitpig, and they go on this adventure across the world to try to get Pickles back home. They don't start as friends, but I think they realize that their friendship is what they both need. And it's a beautiful story of friendship and love and chosen family and the family you find. And so I think there's something for everyone in it.
That's the interesting thing about a lot of the animated stories now. They are good stories, and they are stories for the purpose of bringing people together. This sounds like another one of those.
Absolutely. I think, at least for me growing up, I had the experience of really gathering in the living room, watching films together with my family. I do think that in today's age, some of that has kind of been lost. Everyone's kind of in their own silo, watching things on their phones. And why I love animated movies in particular is I think they return that magic of bringing the family back together. You go to these theaters and watch these movies, and the parents, there's humor for them, there's humor for the kids, there's humor for the older siblings. So I truly do believe that there's some jokes that might go over the kids' heads, and there might be just for the parents, and there's some things the kids might find hysterical. So it brings back that joy and magic of sitting together and watching something.
Wow. It's very interesting too. I want to talk a little bit about late night because there have been so few women, and you really did break that barrier, at least for a hot minute there. What was it? Why is it so difficult to get women into late night television? Why? I don't get it.
Did you want the honest answer, or did you want
Yeah, no, of course I want the honest answer.
Because Hollywood is run by men. That's the honest answer.
Yeah,
it's because,
it's
funny, I read an article the other day that said the same people that were running Hollywood in 1914 are still running it today in 2024. And so I think until the decision makers look different and want to experience different stories, I don't know if much is going to change, but we're trying our darn best.
Yeah, you really are. It's funny. I read that same article, and a bunch of my friends and I were on email this morning still talking about that article. So
right, exactly.
I know the one. Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, what do we do about that, But I do think that people like yourself have been able to forge a pathway to different types of programming, and you've been kind of at one of the lead people in that. And what does that? How is that going? First of all, and second of all, what do we all need to do to get on the same page here so that we can make sure our stories are told?
Well, how has it been and how's that going? I think it's a roller coaster. Anything in this industry feels like a roller coaster. There's moments where it's like, oh my God, everything's going great. And then it kind of feels like it's really what it is two steps forward, 3 steps back. That's kind of what it feels like a little bit. In terms of what can be done, honestly, the answer is, I think right now Hollywood still has this idea that diverse stories are risky, but there's actually no statistics to back that up. Box office records show that BIPOC people fill movie theaters. and they have been contributing to most of the box office hits that have been happening. So I think this idea that diverse stories are risky, we just need to eliminate that. It's not true. And there's no science.
Yeah, it's not.
Back that up. I think it's about supporting diverse stories and giving them the resources like you would any other story so they can actually have legs.
Let's talk a little bit more about Hitpig. Now, it's always interesting to me. I've never, unfortunately, and maybe I'll put this on my bucket list. I'm just going to throw this out there. I should go and do an anime. I want to do voiceover for an animated movie. How do you do that? Because generally, people are in a booth by themselves. You're not even close to the other people that you're working with. Was that your case in this movie?
Absolutely. That was absolutely my case. You are kind of alone in a sound booth, which has its pros and cons. Listen, of course, it would be fantastic for the entire cast to get together and have 30 mics and us all do it. Technically, that's very difficult to do. It's very difficult to get clean audio and actually create an animated film that way. But there is something cool about being in a sound booth. Of course, there's a level of silliness when you're talking to yourself and you're just making a bunch of noises by yourself. But then when you get to see the final product, it's very exciting. Unlike any other film you do or any other project, seeing an animated project come to life, it's as if I'm watching the movie for the first time and I'm reading the script for the first time. Even though I'm fully aware of the script, watching the movie is a totally different experience.
It's got to be. And I imagine it's so wonderful. What do you want audiences to come away with after watching your new movie, Hitpig?
Well, first and foremost, I want them to experience joy. I think there's a lot going on in the world, and I think to escape for, 80-something minutes into a world of joy and laughter is lovely. Aside from that, there's a lot of great themes in the movie. Friendship, of course, family, of course. But I also think just love of animals. I think there's a very sweet undertone of as a proud dog mom myself and someone who loves animals, I think there's a very sweet reminder that they need our love and care.
Oh, I can't wait to see this. I'm very excited. I do like these kind of animated movies. So continued success to you, Lily. Come back anytime when you got stuff going on.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely. And for everybody else out there, don't forget, it's in theaters, correct? Will it be on streaming as well, Lily, after its theater run?
You know what? Couldn't tell you, but I know it's in theaters November 1st.
Go check it out, everybody. And for all of you out there and just all of my lovely individual people that we love you because you tune in all the time, take care of yourself today and someone else. See ya.
Hollywood Live Extra, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.